Hello and welcome to our presentation. Thank you for joining us. Before we begin, I would just like to ask you one question. If there was a free program that allowed you to eliminate certain expenses from your budget, helped you to save energy and reduce your carbon footprint, and it also gave you a powerful hedge against inflation, would you participate? I hope the answer was a resounding yes, because then the next few minutes will be time well spent. You've probably heard the saying that one man's trash is another man's treasure. Well, today, we're going to show you how money that you are currently throwing away on utilities can be turned into a long-term positive cash flow for your business, and how this program can eliminate certain expenses from your line item budget. You will also learn how you can help the environment and reduce your carbon footprint with zero capital investment. And most importantly, what makes FES different than any other lighting company you will speak with. Step 1 is to get you thinking out of the box. So let's start with what makes FES so different and our program so unique. Future Energy Solutions, or FES, is an innovative global green technology company that designs and installs energy-efficient lighting solutions for the commercial and industrial lighting market. The company specializes in targeting customers who are currently operating inefficient, high-intensity discharge, high-pressure sodium, and fluorescent lighting systems in which lighting forms an essential part of the business's operation and cost base. We have used our nearly 50 years of lighting industry experience to correct the basic flaw in the lighting industry business model and develop this program, which I like to call Lighting as a Service. But before we get into our program, you must first have a basic understanding of the lighting industry. Today, we're going to tell you everything the lighting industry doesn't want you to know. The following slide outlines the distribution model currently used by every major player in the commercial lighting industry. It all begins with the lighting manufacturer, who uses lighting agencies and manufacturers' reps to push their product lines to distributors. These wholesalers then market these various product lines to contractors who design and install systems. Most of these larger contractors get their leads through local maintenance subcontractors that will mark up the products and contract separately for maintenance and repairs. So while most business owners aren't walking into Home Depot to buy their lights, they are incurring all the costs of this archaic distribution system. For a better understanding of this industry, you just have to realize that it's exactly like the automobile industry. The business models are exactly the same. It's all about parts, service, and repair. And that's why no other lighting company will ever talk to you about anything other than LED lights. In the auto industry, the salesperson always wants to sell you the most expensive car you can afford. The same thing happens with lighting salesmen. LEDs cost 4 times as much as the older technology. Therefore, a 40% margin on a $1,000 fixture means a lot more commission than on a $400 metal halide. But more importantly, by switching you to LEDs, they've accomplished 3 very important things. They've maximized their upfront earnings. They've created brand loyalty, because LEDs are not standardized like your metal halide bulb sockets. It's like a Ferrari. When you've got one, you've got to go to the dealer to get it serviced. Every LED fixture is proprietary to that manufacturer. You will have to go to them for repairs and replacements. And 3, they create many more opportunities to sell parts, perform service, and do repairs. And this was no coincidence. Speaking of which, every HID bulb they replace will require up to 200 LEDs to produce the same amount of light. Therefore, if you used to budget for your maintenance and repairs for 100 light bulbs and 100 ballasts, now they've got you to create 20,000 points of failure on your system. In this example of an auto dealership from California who converted their exterior lightings to LEDs, they went from 202 points of failure on their system to having 11,403 points of failure. Bottom line is, more chances for failure equals more parts, service, and repairs for the lighting industry. And according to the U.S. Department of Energy, failure rates vary over the lifespan of the LED lamp, initially spiking as high as 7% in the first 6,000 hours or 16 months due to manufacturing defects. Lamps that survive the initial 6,000 hours tend to perform fairly well, maintaining around a 3% average failure rate. But this rapidly increases after 12,000 hours to an average of approximately 10%, increasing until it reaches 17% failure rate at about 50% of the bulb's rated life. Note that the complete failure should be expected at around 80% of rated life. The long-term financial planning and average failure rate of 7% is considered wise. So, now that you understand failure rates, and you understand what the main drivers behind the lighting industry are, you can truly appreciate the genius of the LED fixture design. Where you used to have one bulb and one ballast, now you have hundreds of parts that can go bad. You see, LED is an acronym for light emitting diode. Unlike conventional fixtures where the light source is separated, LED lights are integrated so that if a component goes bad, the entire fixture must be replaced or repaired. Even when individual diodes go bad, they can't simply be replaced like screwing in a light bulb because they're integrated into arrays. Normally 8, 10, or 15 or more diodes in one array depending on the proprietary design. Therefore, every time one of your mini light bulbs goes out, you actually have to replace the entire array. And this now creates a new problem because LEDs are coated with a paint to create the desired white light color. It's really a colored film, but for layman's purposes, think of it as a paint. LED lamps run very hot, not on the front, but on the back where the driver, power supply, and other components run. The problem is, no one has figured out a way to fix the problem with the heatsink. And this is why you see so many different designs. We are still trying to figure it out as an industry. The problem this creates is that, over time, as paint and heat collide, there will be a color shift in the diodes. So when you replace an array with new original white color, it won't match the colors of the rest of the LEDs in that lamp. Even the diodes that aren't replaced will react slightly differently to the heat, making for subtle differences in color. We call this the Christmas tree effect. So now your lighting is uneven and it's ruining the aesthetics of your business, but the lights still illuminate, so it's not covered by your warranty. And to top things off, there's another little game they play that you may be familiar with. You know how you can't get parts for your iPhone 3 anymore? It's the same thing with LED fixtures. In a few years, when your failure rates start to spike, they'll tell you that they don't make that model anymore. You'll wind up with uneven lighting, mismatched fixture heads, and the only way to fix it is to write a big fat check and start the cycle all over again. But that's not going to happen because by now you've realized that your LED system was a maintenance Trojan horse. Remember our car dealership in California? Even using the lowest failure rate published by the U.S. Department of Energy, he's looking at countless service calls and replacing 2,200 diodes every year. Even if the diodes are covered under warranty, the labor is not. The lighting company will make more money going up and down the ladder than they ever did selling him the light. The final numbers will shock you. So let's take a look at what that will look like in your situation. This programmable spreadsheet is a side-by-side comparison of 3 scenarios showing their associated annual cost. Let's plug in your variables. Suffice to say, if you don't qualify for this program, you're better off just keeping your old technology. And that is a perfect segue into getting into the program details. The good news is qualifying is simple. If you're currently using high-intensity industrial lighting and your lights burn for more than 10 hours a day, 6 days per week, you qualify. No credit check, no capital required. Once qualified, we will design and install a state-of-the-art high-efficiency lighting system in your business at absolutely no cost, and you can eliminate maintenance for that new system as an expense from your budget. You will see an immediate improvement in positive cash flow to the tune of 20 to 25% of your current expense on your old system. And last but certainly not least, it will improve the look and feel of your business, which can have a positive impact on productivity and even sales. To get started, we would need a formal request for a free soft audit of your current system and 3 months worth of lighting bills from the site in question. Our soft audit will determine the wattages of the current lights, how many lights are installed at present, the hours of operation for that system, and the average cost per kilowatt per hour that you're currently paying. This audit will be reviewed by our engineers to determine if the project meets minimum savings targets to qualify. Once the project has been approved, a findings report and a contract is generated to present to you. After that, it's just a matter of signing the agreement and picking out an install date. And speaking of the install, you'll be happy to know that even though this program is all about reducing costs, we won't be using 2 men in the truck when it comes to installation and maintenance service. Instead, FES is contracted with one of the largest and most respected contractors in the world. Facility Solution Group will install your system and do any required maintenance within 72 hours of the initial call. Here are just a few examples of some of the installs we've done. A BP gas station in Miami before and after. Honda of Gainesville, who achieved a 62% energy savings. an 1,100 fixture installation at Pines Ford, a 424 fixture installation at Bishop McCarthy High School, who saved over $32,000 per year, dozens of McDonald's locations that average savings between $4,000 to $5,000 a year, the Van Buren Hotel, which saved over $35,000 a year, and the Miami Parking Authority, who reduced energy consumption by 62% and saved nearly $50,000 a year. Well, now that you know that there is a free program that allows you to eliminate certain expenses from your budget, helps to save energy and reduce your carbon footprint, and it also gives you a powerful hedge against inflation, it's time to do the right thing for the planet and your bottom line. Apply today. Call or email your representative to get started. Thank you for watching.